Yeah, boy. Oh, we got a wrap. We did that. We did that.
But I mean, like I'm saying, you could try to marry the two. So like Instagram's trias like transition with potentially some flavor that you still get today from swiping an iPhone, which is like subtly like do some sort of subtle transition of the next icon set in place.
To show there's something there.
Yeah, to show movement, to mimic the same browsing behavior, like swipe behavior. But I don't know. I mean, you're definitely not swiping, right? You're just tapping.
You're tapping.
But the transition is simulating sort of a swipe, so I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth it. And it's just extra dev time. I wouldn't even do it. I would just
do some changes somehow.
Just change it and see if it's an effective browsing behavior. And not try to get like.
And then a swipe is an intentional next person, like.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'd have to queue it up with the dots, and so those dots.
Where we'd have to put these at the top.
No, I mean you can put it wherever, but you know that those dots. What's that? There's a certain disease or like syndrome or something with too many dots on a page. Have you heard about that? If there's too much of a dot repeated in a specific pattern, it's like it causes some disorder.
It's on actual disorder?
Yeah, it bothers people. Like it's a negative reaction. If there's a term.
Oh, I try to tell you, if I see someone's story and that's on someone's on vacation or something, and all they've been putting is the last 2 hours.
It becomes a dot almost.
I'm like, dude, it is a dot at that point.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. I'm like,
so you're not gonna have that though.
So this is, I think I showed you this. So this is sort of like too much work, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude.
To go from users this way.
Yeah, what's
and
exhausting.
Then
I know it's just a non-performant prototype, but yeah, it's exhausting. And then you got profile the other way.
Yeah, this way.
Yeah. I would try to reduce like directionally like how you browse. If you can be able to like allow a user to just like flick it, right? And it never quite pins right. They have to kind of set it up, and then at like just like this, at any point you can start swiping through their images. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like potentially you'd be scrolling through like apps, but half of them are off the screen, but you're still able to do it, and you can see the next one down here. So there's that opportunity too, which lets them throw a feed that they're used to. Vertical scrolling is super comfortable, super fast. They can stop at any point, when they see maybe an app that flies by or a user that flies by that looks interesting. The experience is definitely going to be different, right? You're not looking at like custom content, so it's just hard. You're just looking at app icons. So there's only so much of that you're going to be willing, like minutes you're going to be willing to actually do that.
Yeah, the only real visual differentiator might be the backgrounds to let, because I mean, if you're going to show, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24 apps at once, and then another 24.
Yeah, that would be weird if that was stitched together, huh?
Yeah.
If the backgrounds are stitched together. I have a feeling the backgrounds are going to make the browsing experience really hard.
You think so?
Really hard to indicate app icons that they've already seen. You're going to get a wide degree of like a quality difference, of oddities with the crop someone chose, the actual like content that's being used to represent their background. Like it's just going to feel like that's what's going to be, because there's nothing. Everything else is just app icons, right? So the only like visually stimulating thing is going to be these custom backgrounds. And so I feel like people are going to get more caught up on what's the contrast between that and the app, what's the actual content itself. It's going to be so distracting. I feel like it's going to detract from you finding an actual app that you've never seen, versus being a reflection of how personalized someone's phone is. I feel like it's the least important thing, right? The most important thing is getting a user to find an app that they've never used or that they've never heard of. Not experience somebody's phone like almost like they virtually like hacked in and they're swiping through it and they can see their background. I feel like that there's not really any value in that, especially over the fact that you're trying to just connect them to apps that they haven't seen. I'd say that that wins first, that experience, the clarity of that experience wins first. And I think my gut feeling is that the images are gonna totally detract from finding an app. Imagine like a real world situation, like a real fucking situation set up where everybody, I mean, I've seen some wild ass backgrounds, dude. You know, people you don't, like it could be people you don't know, like, yeah, weird crops, like low res images, like stuff that potentially messes with, like it could be something that potentially messes with the majority of contrast of these app icons itself. Where it's just like, man, like that's like really wild. Because you want these to be the focus, right? It's super crystal clear that you can identify each little one. I don't know. Something
and how much customization too is.
Maybe what I would do
are we gonna allow
is during this guy, like during registration, maybe by default select on like a background that's best optimized. What is it? Black, white, red? I don't know, red sounds kind of crazy. But that's what's selected by default, and you could just reselect your background if you want.
Like a preset.
Yeah, so you're pushing them because you know that that's the optimal experience, contrast, you know, or for the browsing experience.
Yeah.
To identify apps. And then if they notice it, they notice it. If not, they could change it later or whatever. That's what I would do. Because I still like the idea of having somebody still set their background.
Yeah.
But
and it's not so much the personalization as much as it is the curation of what is on your home screen. Even though ours is more than the home screen, it's it's potentially be on the home screen.
Yeah.
But it's that idea of users,
apps, right?
You know, how they do today, right? They take screenshots and they upload them.
Yeah, but there's a limit. I mean, they don't do that on purpose. They do that because that's what they've got to do. Like they're not doing that because they absolutely love their background. They're doing it because they're literally sharing their apps. I would say my gut feeling is that they don't even give a shit about their background. They have no control.
No,
over
I agree. What you're saying is that in the context of our app, because everybody's doing it, right? That it's gonna the contrast or that the apps might not stand out as much.
I'm thinking that for a product, it's gonna be a bad experience. I don't think it's gonna make the experience better. I think it's gonna add too many variables and potentially hurt the experience of the core reason why I got this app, which is to find an app that I've never used, and discover new apps. Yeah, so I don't know. I would just change it like on onboarding, like push a different background, like a controlled background.
Oh, what I was saying is what are we giving them here that, or I should say the fact that it's social is sort of what makes it unique, right? Then just going to the App Store, which is just going to give you the trending top 20 this or categories of this and that. So then the real question is, when you're exploring through people, what do we need to do to make sure that whatever those apps are don't get missed, right? That actually get
the apps that people potentially haven't seen don't get missed.
Yeah.
I'd set up parameters. I would only show.
So if I'm going to see Snapchat on every home screen.
Yeah. Remember we talked about this? I think that you should try not to show apps that have a certain download amount on the App Store. So any apps over that trigger popularity, which are probably going to be in a certain bracket on Google Play, purposely backseat those or something, or hide them completely. You do want to have the user be able to reflect what is exactly on their phone during onboarding, but maybe flag those popular apps as something that you want to tell the user not to show because it's too popular, right? It's not the purpose of this app. So they could be disabled when you go through registration. They could be dimmed, and the person would have to re-enable it if they really want to show Snapchat as like the app on their phone, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I would just try to make that really clear. The purpose of this thing is like during onboarding. The purpose of this app is to share apps that you know that are new that nobody has. I think you have to tee that off, like make that super crystal clear. That's the purpose. That's the purpose here, right? That's what you're doing.
So you had talked about using. You think you had sent me a mock-up of like an emoji or something? Putting emojis on the home screen.
Oh, as a way to be social.
There? Yeah, because if this thing's got built-in snap kits, can you like throw like stickers on when you share the home screens or?
Yeah, no. So I was there's I mean, the idea around it was like I talked to my niece. I was like, hey, what are your favorite apps right now on your phone?
Yeah.
She's like, I love this one. She's like, I use it pretty much like every other day. She's like, my friend, I just downloaded this one. So there's already different like levels of like likeness already. She's like, this is my favorite one. I use this like all day, every day. Like I can't stop using it. So you could potentially use that like that with a way that someone sort of loves or prioritizes apps, and like let them love it through emojis during onboarding. So maybe there's a reaction tray, and you can add reactions.
Maybe that's what animates when you put in a new screen. So if I'm going through users,
oh, they appear.
Then something does, certain icon stands out because they've called it out, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the problem I have is like when I just look, if I'm looking at someone's homepage, like I'm just looking at all their apps, but it doesn't tell me anything about their connection to the app, like in terms of like likeness, right?
Right.
Or usage or whatever. It just shows me that they have it.
Yeah.
It doesn't show me like that they use it or that they've ever opened it, or they open it every day, or they open it every hour of the day. So maybe you could potentially like, yeah.
Because so Rashid and I were talking about what if there was some sort of feature where you could flag it, but it was more like if this was
emojis seem to be the most appropriate because they're already designed and people have their own ways of expressing themselves through specific emojis that feel representative of themselves. So, and all you would do is just pull up the keyboard or pull the top popular emojis and let them pin it like to the corner of the app icon. So I think I sent you something a while back.
So it's like something like this, right?
Yeah, like so maybe you have like zoom out. Yeah, maybe you're able to sort of, each one has that or something, and then you just tap and it triggers like a tray that's like an isolated tray of emojis, like top emojis that you feel are going to be the best for the platform to represent like likeness of an icon or style, that represents style of somebody. Or you can just tap it and it pulls up like a keyboard, emoji keyboard, and they populate it with whatever emoji. I mean, you could have your own predefined ones where they're not hitting a keyboard. I don't know. Maybe you're just tapping this guy, right? And it's cycling through a bunch of emojis and you just stop. But that kind of sucks too, because then you've got to cycle through a bunch and you can't go back. I don't know. But I'm just saying like a quick way where you bypass the keyboard, which is going to be potentially you have to dismiss it and potentially covering up app icons, and you're quickly setting up your preferences, like what you like and like what you want to show people that you really like over what you just have like on your phone. So
the idea behind this actually was, so imagine a phase 2 where you can leave a review, because you were saying like what is the connection between one of the apps and the people, and if you left a story, right? You say, yo, like this is this is TikTok, I use it, it's a pretty cool app, whatever, and then it somehow leaves it highlights that app somehow, that if you click it, so you open this card or whatever, that you can watch, maybe it's overlaid somewhere, like a little circle video or something, where it plays back whatever that person said about the app. That could be
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
So.
I think that would be something that you would build over time.
Yeah, it's definitely not
Yeah.
not an MVP thing, but that's.
No, I
kind of
mean
the
build
thought
like outside of registration. So it's almost like something you would do like on your profile. Not only are you filling out your profile like photo, but I mean the whole point of the app is to show off your apps, and so maybe your profile is where you store app bookmarks that you've saved, but you're also like I don't know, like rating it through app emojis, right?
Yeah.
You're continuing to do that work. You're leaving like video reviews on like certain apps, whatever, right?
Yeah, or imagine being able to actually
I think that's what
screen record like a game or something. Or
oh, that's what I was saying.
yeah. So it was gifts.
What I would do is I would build an onboarding, like before you got to that screen, like teaching a user what to do.
Yeah.
You know, the point of this app isn't to show like popular apps. You know, disable them, swipe to the next thing. Show your friends, brag to your friends your favorite apps, and then you have, you know, this is you swiping through a tutorial.
Yeah.
You know, showing value props, and then it's like brag to your friends like you love your apps on your phone using stickers or emojis or whatever. And it has this little example, then you swipe to the next one, and it's like, okay, now set up.
Can you plug into Giphy? Like, can anyone plug into Giphy?
I don't know.
Or is that just you gotta pay for that?
No, I think they have an API, but I don't know.
Because that's funny. Like.
Yeah.
Because you know the Snapchat stickers are.
Yeah.
You single it out. That just to me just says Snapchat. Too Snapchatty.
Yeah.
Where I like GIFs because that's my favorite part of Instagram stories.
Yeah. I feel like you could do that.
Because you know you could have people like going like this icon or.
I feel like if you're gonna call out any apps, it's only gonna be like under 5 or something. I don't know. That's just like my gut, but. Under like 5 apps, 3 or 5 apps, you know, they're not going to sit here and like really like trick out each single one with like an emoji or a dancing GIF or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it and move on because they're still in registration.
Get them here as quickly as possible, and then sort of educate them.
Educate them just before. Maybe it's like a modal that pops up and you're like swiping through it. It's like a forced swipe. You can't tap outside of it to dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a little card.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the end, it's like, okay, build mine, and then it fades out and you're here. Mm-hmm. You've taught them like what to do and the value.
Oh, and the other thing to think about too is what does it look like if, let's say I'm over here, I'm looking at Rashid's screen, and I click down here in my profile. Am I taken to here or to my home screen?
I think your home screen should be down here, like all down here. So if you swipe up, it like locks. You know what I mean?
So
or this stuff scales. Like it literally looks like that other view.
Where you have the top?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this shit scales, or maybe this stuff compresses into a little card at the top, like that layout that you had. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it just goes out of view. It just paginates. And then that's how you can continue to edit your stuff.
Yeah, because the idea here is home screens, right? This is where you're exploring home screens, whether it's tapping or whatever.
Yeah.
This is search, like look for apps or users here. And then, this is a kind of a big deal too.
This would be cool if this was an actual like phone, like with a house in it, or like some take on it. I don't know.
Yeah. So our beta, the way we tapped apps was we would click this, and then we get the list, which everyone hated because it was just a list, and you'd have to go through the list and then tap the ones you want to share. So what's this function now? Does that go away and everything's done here?
What's a list? What do you mean?
So
what is this guy?
This is to add more apps to your home screen.
Oh, I thought it was updating based on what's on your phone automatically.
No, well, it would show up grayed out by default. So this goes, this is irrelevant then, right?
Oh, on onboarding?
Not onboarding, just in general. Like, let's say I'm over here and I'm exploring. Our version of content is just, you've got a new app. So let's say you go and download a new app. Tap That App says, hey, Ryan, you've added a new app, you should go share it, right? And then you come back to Tap That App, where are you then? Does it just highlight here? Is that the whole notification thing you were saying that's missing?
You add a new app? I don't get like why you're adding a new app.
No, I mean you installed a new app.
You installed a new app through that.
So like this August, you just set up
Yeah.
the key.
Yeah.
Tap That App just told you, hey Ryan, you just installed. Tap That App recognizing there's a new app.
Yeah.
So now, do you want to share August with your friends? It doesn't do it by default.
Yeah.
So then what does that look like here?
So are you saying you would tap the notification and go in there, or you would
Yeah,
just open the app
Either or.
and it would be available?
And then it would give you the option to share it or not share it. By default, it's not shared.
Yeah, because
you're gonna say, who gives a crap about my new bank app or August?
Yeah, so where would that experience happen? On the profile?
Or a pop-up? We had it on a pop-up on our beta. It was just literally like when you came back to the app, the pop-up came up and said, do you want to share it, yes or no?
Yeah, you're just going
And
to
then
potentially have like an experience where nobody listens to the push notifications, and then come back to the app maybe a week later and there's like 10 new apps that you have to like be like, yes, no,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. As long as it's...
So then, should we kill this and then put like notification tab where it's just telling you, triggering you things like new follower, new...
Yeah,
is that what's missing?
Yeah, where do you guys do that?
We don't have it. So
yeah.
maybe that's where we put all that crap, right?
Yeah, because so far there's nothing really social about it, right? Like, where are the social indicators? Like, how are you being social?
Just follow people.
Other than bookmarking stuff that you haven't seen, or installing it, like...
You could follow people, and then eventually you'll be able to DM in-app with people. Like, I'll show you
DM.
I'll show you the version that we have. The list, right? So tap 5 of 24, you just click, and then, follow some people. What about following people? So that should be in the onboarding somewhere, right?
People aren't going to want to follow anybody because it's not user-generated content. Like, they're not there because they're an influencer. Like, for a specific interest, they're there. Like, they're going to only follow somebody if they have interesting apps, right? And I don't even know if that's going to be another thing you got to prove. Would someone ever want to follow somebody just because they have interesting apps? You can't say that that's ever been like proven that like...
Well, it doesn't exist.
I know, but you're banking big that people do want to follow people.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I would want to follow a popular... Well,
I would want to, like you were showing me,
Yeah.
You were flipping through yours, and just in 10 seconds of looking at you flipping, I wanted to ask you about like 3 or 4 because I didn't recognize a whole lot of crap on here, and I would follow you because because of your space, like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The question is 15-year-old gonna have the same sort of FOMO or whatever they call it with their peers if they're always downloading new stuff and they want to know who's downloading what? I don't know.
I think so. Or with their peers?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but...
Or other people their age, right?
Other people their age, potentially, yeah, just because, like geographically where they are, you have different trends and different ways that trends move through towns,
See, so this was this was an explore idea we had at one point, where you have the sort of the user-generated lists. So we were thinking like Spotify, right, too. This is an old profile. But the problem with this is we were making it too app story. Like, it felt too much like, okay, we beefed up the app store by adding social integration to it, but who cares?
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see, can you click on this? trying to show you this. So this is the app page, right? Eventually, what we want is this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right? So you could mention people. So let's just say, just like Instagram. So I don't have to even share this app with you. I can just say @Ryan. What do you think of this or that? Like just by mentioning, you get sent here, right?
How?
What do you mean how?
How do I get sent there if I don't have notifications?
Oh, I mean if you're a user, and I could mention you here.
And then how do I click that action to land here?
Same as Instagram, you have a
The notifications?
notification, I guess.
So you'll have to build notifications?
Probably not day one, but
Oh, yeah.
that's something we have to
Yeah.
think about. So, and then this one, you see, it has the badge.
Yeah, the notifications are critical with being social and it being scalable to understand social activity. Do you have search? Can you search?
Yeah. Search will be search
What can you search?
users and apps.
Oh, okay. Would somebody ever want to search an app that they know? Because they wouldn't be able to search an app they don't know, right? Unless they're just playing with, like, typing in R in search and they're like, what apps come up under R, you know?
Well, the idea was that this becomes a community of app users, you know, of people that curate good apps, so that you could go in and type in fitness or photography,
Okay.
and it would pull up based off of users' profiles, like data from user profiles, or let's say Josiah, who's a photographer, he's got like 7 photography apps.
Yeah.
So he'll come up as a user that
Oh, I
might
see.
have.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So then you find people that have.
So it's category, it's tagged, like there's categories and then
Well, these would be user generated.
Oh.
But day one, we're not going to have the smash. We call them the smash tags. They're not going to be there day one. But what will be there is the search engine will know if you search photography that here's people that have a lot of photography apps. And over time, the more popular they get, you know, the more people that tap them, then you can create algorithms that say these are popular people that have, not just random people that have photography apps.
It seems like you could do that from day one if you hit search. You could browse categories because all the apps are tagged. So any user that has signed up that has photography related apps, whether they're known or unknown, if they have them publicly visible, then you know the metadata that the App Store has tagged this as like photography. So you could build your own category. And so if they hit search and they hit this like category called photography, then it shows you all apps, and it could potentially sub-indicate the users that are on Tapp That App that have this app installed. You know, because the point is for them to connect with an app that they don't have, not really connect with the user first, then find that app. So maybe it's like, so maybe the user's like secondary, like in that case where they're just trying to look for photography related apps that they've never heard of. You know, or music apps, or I don't know, art apps, or.
See, but that could be valuable one day if we had thousands of users, because location based. Imagine if you go to a conference, like that's why we have South by Southwest here. Imagine going to a conference where there's like 100,000 people walking around, and you show me trending apps here at this convention, or show me trending apps at whatever event you're at.
So you would do that because you've already asked for location permissions from user? Yeah.
And your profile is public, and you're just adding the location to be. So that would have to be on all the time then, right?
Yeah, you would have to ask them, hey, share your location. This app wants to know your location all the time.
Yeah.
For you to be able to do like.
To do that feature, yeah. Yeah, boy. We got a rap. We did that. We did that. Right?
Yeah. Dude. And it's our video. Like,
Yeah, that's our demo right
our
there.
demo video. Hold on, let's first come out.
I'm showing off my apps with a virtual home screen. Yeah.
Oh, Thug Life, dude. Oh, shoot. What's this all about? You want to tell the vlog?
Oh, the vlog?
Yeah.
So here in Los Angeles, we have an area called Silicon Beach, pretty much from Santa Monica down to probably El Segundo. But right in the middle of it is this area called Playa Vista, which basically has turned into like the Madison Avenue of tech here in LA. You've got Facebook, Google, everybody's got it. WeWork's there. Everyone's got a little spot in Playa Vista. So we just had some fun and came out with some shirts. It said, "Don't hate the playa, hate the game." And we wanted to go do a meetup over there somewhere in the middle of it and come with our shirts on. You know, it's just a good laugh because everyone is sort of like it's very hyped up. It's a very hyped up place. Real estate there is ridiculous. So anyway, so just don't hate the playa, just hate the game. You know, hate Silicon Beach, baby. This is how it's done.
On stories,
Mm-hmm.
the only real swiping occurs. So like if I'm looking at stories here,
Yeah.
so you have the pagination up here. That
Just
really
tap.
what you do is tap.
Yeah,
This way.
just tap.
So he's suggesting maybe what we do is when we're looking at a home screen is that you keep it simple and you just create this tap.
Oh, that's
But that the way that the apps come in and out, the way it's animated,
Mm-hmm.
gives you the feeling of you're going through them.
Yeah.
He feels like making it easy like to tap versus swipe. The trade-off is he doesn't see the benefit in emulating a phone. If the whole app is this, up, down, left, like, you know what I mean? So he's saying just keep it, because even when I'm going through stories, sometimes if I'm being lazy, I'm literally just going click, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how users are. And then so then what he's suggesting is maybe even getting rid of the vertical.
Huh. Okay.
And then what you do is, so the way stories work is, you know, left and right taps.
Mm-hmm.
But when you want to switch users, you go to see how you can actually see it.
Yeah, you can swipe. Yeah.
So it's like now
sort of
new
pivots.
home screen, new user,
Uh-huh.
new user. But if I want to see apps within this user,
You tap.
then I'm doing this. Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
But he said we could test it. Like
Yeah, I would say like
Test-
those sort of things don't really make or break anything, right? They're just sort of.
I don't know. He just feels it's not social enough. That's his thing.
Well, because you're not really, it's not user-generated content in that way,
That's it.
you know. It's more like curation, but you could say the same thing of Pinterest. You'd say the same thing of,
True.
you know what I mean? Pinterest isn't UGC. It's sort of you're finding things, right? So sort of in that same way.
It's not discouraging at all. In fact, it's just testing the UX a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's important. But then also, so for the onboarding, we did talk about signing in, for example, using the Snap Kit, and then going right into bypassing this screen.
Oh, setting up your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being more of like, okay, now we've generated your
Yeah.
there's that one button app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gary Vee literally says, "Give me a 2-button app.
Yeah, just make it quick and easy.
Click it and then share the home screen." Now imagine you could put Jake Paul's home screen or other influencers' home screens in the hands of the fans.
That's interesting.
Now this can be possible.
Keep talking.
We're Tapp That App. We're a social app discovery and recommendation platform.
Interesting.
We've made the App Store social.
It takes your social networks and what?
Combines them with the apps on your phone.
And Understood. So
And
what?
so you're creating
So
playlists.
if I download your app, what
You tap
happens?
them will know the apps that you have, and then you tap the ones you want to share.
I get worried about it being only valuable to a very small percentage of people. If you were about to show me some way that it was super, like I really want a 2-button app that says share to home screen, and for some reason for somebody to do that, and away we go. The data matters.
So bypassing this profile thing, and then just onboarding with SnapKit, click, there's the home screen, and if it looks good, then you're off to the races, right? You're done, you're set. And then he suggested getting rid of this bar, obviously, because right now you're onboarding, and all you see is your home screen, but with controls. So if you do choose the apps that are public, he says maybe gray out or disable popular apps by default. Like we'll create a white list or blacklist, whatever you call it. Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, all the standard stuff. Because what you really want is unique apps. You don't want to be scrolling through all the same apps, and there's nothing unique about the platform. He did say for contrast, he says some people have. I mean, look at the contrast on mine. You know, that's debatable, I guess. The contrast.
I go for something really dark.
Right, and his was dark too.
Yeah.
And his icon popped, right?
Yeah.
But there's going to be people that put up crappy backgrounds anyway.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter if it's something that's for you, personalized. But when people are scrolling, it's going to be hard to differentiate what I'm seeing. So imagine when you onboard, there's a little color switch or two with a swatch that you'll just give me a gradient background or a solid or something that.
Or something a little like I can imagine a slider saying like darken it. Just like tint the glass a little bit, you know.
That's actually a cool, better idea.
So then,
swatch.
That way you're sort of like you're doing a little bit of photoshopping in the app.
Overlay, dark, small. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then a way to disable apps that you don't want to share.
Yeah.
We were debating whether, like the way it currently is, it's the tap, they're tapped or untapped. So maybe we do away with that terminology, or maybe we don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to figure out where the heart plays into all this, if at all. Because I don't want it to get gimmicky, and then I don't want like everything to have a heart.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah. We
So
tried that and it looks silly.
Yeah. So then Ryan suggested just maybe it grays out when you don't want to share it or something like that, right? So that it's there.
Yeah.
But you can easily display it or not display it on your profile. And then this is fun here. He sent me a mock-up of, he had GIFs, animated GIFs on his. He took a screenshot of this and he added animated GIFs cool. Hanging over the certain ones.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you're swiping through.
We talked about that though.
Yeah. Well, and then when I saw the SnapKit, I said, well, maybe the SnapKit, the stickers or something, could be interesting. I like the idea of GIFs better because they're so funny and unique than the stickers. Stickers are kind of like, because there's some funny ones. In fact, Instagram stories, that's one of my favorite things to do is to GIF, the Giphy.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me on Slack all the time, but the ones on Instagram stories, because they're transparent. I mean, you can scale them so tiny sometimes, and they do all this funny stuff, right? So imagine swiping through, and instead of alerts everywhere, you'll see like people will add them strategically. So the idea would be that there's a Giphy option somewhere that you can
to call things out.
Yeah, to trick out your profile a little bit, or you do it when you share only. I don't know. I'm gonna share my home screen. All right, Giphy it up, and then that's what goes out to Twitter, to Instagram, to Snapchat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea is that we need to enable that somehow.
Yeah.
The emojis or Giphy or both, so you can put stuff there. The plus doesn't do anything. That's gonna go away.
Really? What was it supposed to do? Adding an app?
Remember, you get the list and then tap, tap, tap. Now your profile is your home screen, and they're all there. So you're either gonna turn it gray.
Okay.
It's gonna be
I like
grayed
that.
out or
That's
not
straight.
grayed out.
Yeah. That's
And when
simple.
you install a new app, you'll have an alert saying you've installed a new app or you've installed 5 new apps. So when you come back, obviously you'll get a notification, but if you clear the notification, which most people do, right, because they annoy people, clear it out. When you come back to the app, or like this, right? Or you have Android. Do you have anything with notifications, pending,
No.
numbers? Do you have that disabled?
Yeah. I do.
That's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Because I'm super anal about that.
Yeah.
So
But,
imagine
yeah.
imagine this is Tapp That App and it says 4.
Yeah.
That means you've installed 4 apps and you haven't decided what to do with.
Right. Once you.
So then what'll happen here is this will go away. That'll go away, and then this will probably get moved over. Well, the search will probably be in the middle, whatever. Like this, and then here you'll have the bell or whatever, which is basically the notifications.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's where our heart lives.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because then it'll show you new people that followed you. Do you want to follow them back? That's where that's where it's social-ish. Where it's showing you what the activity of what's going on, which is totally missing here. It's not even here. Right? How do you know when someone new's followed you?
Right.
You want to know that.
Right. Right.
You wanna be
Or
able to
instead of
follow
having to
someone
go
that-
through scrolling to everyone's screen and say, oh, so just tapped a new app. Right?
Yeah, or Nathan started following Ryan.
Yeah.
I want to know that. Oh, who's Ryan? Let me click.
Yeah.
Home screen. Right? So then that's a little bit more of this in here. So that you can kind of get a sense of stuff. And then later, when we enable, I mean, Instagram didn't have DMs for years, But later we could be able to direct message users with in-app. Because right now, say you follow someone cool, like, you're not going to know how to even message them. You won't be able to. The closest thing will be the app mentioning them on a thread, an app thread or something, right? I think let's flesh this out and try to keep it as minimal as possible for this launch. And then just let's get it built, man. Like all the stuff, especially me, I get caught up in like I want reviews, I want video, I want
Yeah.
But what's the bare bone version that we can put out?
Yeah. We have something that people want, and then it's just making it more of what they want,
Yeah.
right? So really, at the end of the day, we just have to have that thing that people are like, yeah, I like that on my phone. I'd use that. They have to use it every day. They don't have to use it all day. But it has a place. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like if I'm, like think of it as, like the Yelp of the apps, right? I mean, you can go on Google and look around for these things, but it's not how you would discover new things. No one's browsing on Google Play for what's next. It's not even made for that. Like if you look at it, it's just bad.
Yeah, but imagine if that was Tap That Appetite.
What is that?
Remember we talked about this?
No, what is it?
It's like going to Google Maps,
Uh-huh.
which is the one I use,
Uh-huh.
and like, when was it? Yesterday, I was craving Chinese, and we were by the mall.
Yeah.
I just typed in Chinese in the map.
Yeah.
But what if I could search Chinese places that my friends have been to,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
random people?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of the
thing,
same idea, right?
right? Yeah. Well, that's just it. Like, and here's what's also interesting too is the fact that Google's now shut down Google Plus. Like
Yeah.
that was totally in existence when we were working on this,
Mhm.
right? And we were like, well, where's that? Google's gonna when is Google
Yeah,
gonna make a
Gary's gonna
social
make fun of
play?
you.
Yeah, he did make fun of
Throwing
me. He called me
he
out.
called you out.
And combines it with
What
the
did you
apps that are on
say?
your phone.
The fact that you said Google Plus just excited me in such a serious way for two reasons. One, I haven't heard that word in so long, and two, it just speaks to your OG nature. And three, it also proves how important the API access is to your business. But that was just fun for me.
Called me out on that. But the truth is, like, everyone had a Google Plus account.
Yeah.
Right? But now it doesn't exist, so Google's still sort of stuck now. Like, there's no social way of really engaging apps. Like, Google just shut off their only means to do so. You know, they might pick a social network, but I doubt it. That close? I mean, they said there's 2.5 billion active phones.
Yeah.
They're not going to give that, they're not going to hand that off to a social network. They're going to be like, hey, Facebook, here's access to 2.5 billion of our customers. Never.
Nope.
Never. Not unless they own it. So my feeling is like, they're really not going to go play in this space. Like, they just have no interest.
They don't need to.
They don't need to. They own search. What is the most effective way of promoting apps? Through search. So we're still gonna get beat by that. But the second best, word of mouth.
Yeah.
So I say
We're right in the.
we're next.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's it. So, and I'm fine being second to Google. That's fine by me. I don't know about you, but I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. I just don't hate the playa. I love it, man. I love it. I feel like we've been here before.
Yeah, man.
That's what hurts a little bit. I'm just like, damn it. What do we do to not be here again in 6 months?
We're not gonna be, because I told you, the 2020 resolution for me
Is either
is
do
gonna
it or
be
don't, right?
is
Yeah.
we gotta clean the house. And
Yeah.
Don't let, cause it can wear you down, man, like emotionally.
Yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
just clinging onto some thread of hope, right?
Yeah, well, not
You
only
can't-
that,
you can't move on to something maybe.
not only that, we have other ideas.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you and I were never like, dude, it's tap or die.
No.
Like, we were basically like, look, we got a whole box of these things, like, let's churn this one out and then move on to the next one. So,
Yeah.
let's churn it out.
Yeah.
Let's churn it out.